to Clarified Solutions post on meeting etiquette. What we're going to do today is we are going to break this particular presentation down into 3 sections. The first section is going to be addressing what is meeting etiquette and why is it so important, whether this be in the context of your professional experiences or your personal experiences as well. What can you do to optimize the level of value which you bring to a meeting and contribute, and also the value you gain from a meeting? And finally, we're going to consider and discuss some of the hints and tips of how to optimize a meeting which you are a participant in. So, first things first, what is meeting etiquette? Essentially, meeting etiquette is the way in which you conduct yourself and other people conduct themselves before, during, and after the meeting. Many people have a misnomer that meeting etiquette is only significant during the course when the meeting is actually taking place. In order to have a highly effective meeting, it's important that the preparation and the planning done prior to the meeting and after the meeting is also taken into consideration. So why is meeting etiquette so important? Cast your mind back to experiences that you've had where absolutely nothing was achieved in a meeting. Your time was spent aimlessly gazing out the window or being spoken over as you try to address a particular topic in the meeting. Remember how this made you feel and consider how many different ways this could have played out if meeting etiquette was put into place and everyone had an agreed way in which they would conduct themselves and expect others to conduct themselves. So in terms of the value which you would like to bring and contribute to a meeting, consider what this may be. What is your role within this particular meeting? Are you an active participant in terms of being a presenter? Are you taking minutes? Are you helping with the planning and research that's informing the conversation in the meeting? Are you assisting with the logistics, the pragmatic elements of the meeting? Whatever the case may be clear in your intention and clear in your purpose as to what it is specifically that you want to contribute to the meeting. Once you have this clear in your mind, then move on to what is it that you hope to gain from a meeting? Is it an insight? Is it the strengthening and the development of a relationship with a new client or with your colleagues? Is it the opportunity to practice your presentation skills and speaking skills? Is it the opportunity to bring together and collate fairly disparate pieces of work or ideas that have already come into place so that they can form some sort of homogeneous whole and really tell a clearer story of action moving forward? So clarity of intention, of contribution, and of gain. Once this particular step hasn't been moved through, you can consider what are some of the ways in which I want to conduct myself in this meeting space. So meetings, of course, can be conducted in so many different ways, but what they really have in common is that people, maybe one other person, yourself, or a larger group and yourself, are meeting and discussing simultaneously the same range of topics. So some hints and tips in order to optimize and really maximize the experience and the potential outcomes as well for your meetings is, number 1, please turn your mobile phone off. Don't have it displayed on your desk next to you. What message does this send your colleagues, your clients, and anyone who it may be that you're interacting with? It sends them the message that your attention is split and that you ultimately do not truly value their contribution to this particular meeting, because you are inhibiting your ability to fully focus on that particular meeting. Now, granted, I completely understand. If there's an emergency phone call that you are waiting on, it certainly makes sense that you may want to excuse yourself from this particular meeting, or that the meeting can be rescheduled. And be practical. Remove and eliminate those technological distractions, particularly mobile phones and computers, unless the computer is absolutely crucial as a tool to be used in the meeting, and nothing is being done on the computer that does not relate to what is being discussed in that particular meeting. My suggestion or tip number 2, eye contact. Who is speaking and when? Are you aware of this? If you are the speaker, consider how you feel and how much better you are able to present when you can tell that you have people's undivided attention and focus. Make eye contact. Vary this. Look around the room. Consider the particular ways in which other people are responding and interacting with the speakers or with yourself. Suggestion number 3, an agenda. Prior to the meeting, in fact, I would suggest at least 2 hours prior to the meeting, have a clear and concise agenda of the top line overview of the points which aim to be discussed, and even better, the actions you hope to be able to take afterwards, which is the steps that you are creating in the meeting to be able to take those actions. Circulate this meeting agenda with all participants. Offer participants the opportunity to comment and clarify any of these particular topics. You may find the meeting might not even need to be called, and then this incredibly valuable time and other resources contributed to this meeting does not need to be assigned to this particular topic. Or what may happen is there's even greater level of engagement and clarity for the participants of this particular meeting once they've had a chance to respond to the agenda. Step or suggestion number 4, print the agenda and have a copy for everyone in the meeting where practical. Of course, if this is a meeting on an incredibly large scale, if this is a meeting that is done electronically and remotely, this may not be possible. However, people should have access to this agenda whilst they're in the meeting. Suggestion number 5. Print off, where possible, or annotate electronically these meeting agenda notes. Add any questions that you may have about what the presenters are discussing or the people who are leading the discussion are discussing. If you think it's appropriate, ask those questions to clarify the meaning of what is being discussed during the meeting, or leave them towards the end. Ultimately, meetings can be an absolutely fantastic time to build rapport, to clarify understanding, and to create solid stepping stones to propel action forward and achieve the outcomes which you desire. So when following some of these suggestions, you may find that meetings that you were previously taking part of, where you couldn't quite find the value, are quickly becoming optimized in terms of the efficiency and effectiveness of communication. I would be absolutely delighted to hear what you think about this particular topic. Any experiences that you may have had in a meeting, whether they be wonderful experiences to reflect back on, where you feel that people were truly engaged and the outcomes were really achieved before, during, and after that particular meeting. And of course, to contrast this, was there ever a meeting that you were part of where you genuinely do not understand why the meeting was occurring and why people were conducting themselves as they were in that particular meeting? And also, why nothing seemingly had been achieved? I look forward to hearing more from you and having further discussions. Take care.